We're welcoming to the big round table here on the show the good folks from the National Museum of Nuclear Science and History. Jeanette Miller is Director of Marketing and PR. Hello, Jeanette.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks so much.
And tell us a little bit about what you do. And not a whole lot of people know about this museum, so tell us a little bit about it.
Well, we used to be the National Atomic Museum, and I think a lot of folks remember us either on base when it was in its very first years or down near Old Town. But 4 years ago, we moved to a location on South Eubank, and it has just been terrific. We changed our name in keeping with the Smithsonian because we are a Smithsonian affiliate. So we're the National Museum of Nuclear Science and History. We've broadened our scope, and we are a very, very busy museum.
And I remember when you guys first opened, and it's already been 4 years.
It has.
It's amazing.
Wow. You have a neat program going on right now. We're going to show some images of this. It's called Operation Preservation, and you're restoring some vintage aircraft.
Absolutely. These are iconic pieces in our collection that have been outside in the weather for years and are really showing it. And so our desire is to get a bunch of volunteers together, get some supplies, and really take these planes back into a better condition as they do deserve. So we have 4 aircraft.
There's one we're showing on the screen now. Which one is that?
That's the B-29 Super Fortress, which is such an iconic plane. That's the same plane that the Enola Gay was that dropped the weapons over Japan. But we also have a B-52 Stratofortress, and that is an amazing piece of aircraft.
Big aircraft.
Big, big. We have an A-7 Corsair, which is a small plane that was meant to land on carriers, and then a F-105 Thunder Chief, so a supersonic fighter bomber. And there's the A-7. It just really interesting aircraft and so deserving of some time and attention. So we have a campaign going to restore them.
Yeah, and these two we're seeing here, one's the A-7, I know.
The A-7 is with the orange, and then the F-105 was with the sharp nose.
One time I went up with the Blue Angels who were visiting Albuquerque this several years ago in an A-7, and man, what a ride.
What a ride, what a ride, that's
it was
right.
Incredible.
Well, people love to walk right up to our airplanes, and we want to make sure they're in good condition. So we have a number of things going with our campaign. We have a raffle for seats on an actual B-29 that's still flying. It's the only B-29 that's flying in the United States.
Wow.
We're raffling off 2 gunner seats for that.
Ooh.
That's going to be a lot of fun. And then we're going to have a movie in August, The Avengers, and we're going to do that outside under the plane wings.
Oh, how cool is that? That's really cool.
That's when you have a big plane.
Yeah, that's right.
For those who haven't been to the new location, give us a quick overview on what you're going to see inside the various exhibits.
We have such a range of things. First of all, we of course tell the story of nuclear history as New Mexico, only New Mexico can show, and that's everything from the early physics of weaponry to the Trinity site. And we have replicas of Fat Man and Little Boy, which are very popular, and we have a couple of vehicles of that era as well. Then we have a whole section on physics and nuclear medicine, because nuclear medicine is just such a part of medical care today, both in diagnosis and in treatment. So we have a lot of old imaging equipment. And then we represent nuclear power, which is in the headlines every day. And so we talk a lot about how nuclear power delivers electricity to so much of the world.
You do cover a broad range of things then, don't you? What are your hours out there?
We are open daily, 9 to 5. We only close 4 days out of the year. So when other museums are closed, we're open.
And you mentioned something about having volunteers to help restore the plane?
That's right. We're looking for folks who would like to give a few hours on a regular basis, and to help come out once we've finalized our project plan. We'll be fitting people into actually getting out with the airplanes and helping us do the metal restoration and the painting.
So you can actually be part of this whole experience.
That's something you'll never forget doing.
That's right. That's right.
That is really cool. What's your projected date to be complete with it?
Well, we don't know that we'll be complete within the next 2 years, but our campaign has a 2-year time frame, and we feel like in those 2 years we'll have at least done a majority of the work and raised a majority of the funds. The $200,000 goal really is just a start, because those planes are going to need a lot of care.
The National Museum of Nuclear Science and History. Check them out, and what a great place to take Dad this weekend.
That's right. We've got fly airplanes, paper airplanes on Saturday from 10 to 2.
Oh,
it's all about airplanes.
Fantastic.